Welcome into Chatterbox Bearcats. I am your host of the midweek show, Nick Niehaus. Eric Lilly, like every week, is joining me today at Bearcat Bunch on X. Follow me as all the he calls himself an aggregator. I've never heard that term before this year, but any UC news that you need that drops, that anything, he's got it on X. So give him a follow, give me a follow as well at Nick Niehaus. All aboard the train, Lilly, the hype train. I was gonna play a train whistle. Let's see if this works. Not much of a choo-choo for the train, but the hype train is real. It's about time the Bearcats got some respect, and it seems like it's coming from every angle. Brendan Sorsby's getting respect, not from Nick Saban. Not from Nick Saban. I sent a text out earlier. I was like, we should just call him Brendan Sorley and not acknowledge it the whole episode. But then I thought that everyone would think that we're idiots if they didn't see that Nick Saban repeatedly called him Brendan Sorley on College Gameday about 6 times. And now guess what? We're going to be on College Gameday, at least on the road. But anyway, Cincinnati's getting their flowers after a whooping of Baylor. Got a little hairy, just a tad. But then they pulled away. A game that really I was never worried about. Once, obviously, we got up at least one score. Lilly, how we doing?
Great. The Sorley thing's good because in my head there's this chance that Saban and the crew interview Sorsby on Saturday, and I've just got it in my head like maybe Sorsby calls him Rick instead of Nick. Dan Horde gave me that idea at the radio show. Dan Horde made that joke at the radio show, and it's just like, wow, Sorsby could pull that card, and I think they would all laugh. I know McAfee would. I'm not sure if Nick would, but
he would. I feel like he's lined up a little.
Yeah, he's a good sport. Yeah, we're on game day. I think the only other game day road game we had was that UCF one where we lost. Palpable buzz, as John Rothstein says. So yeah, we're excited. Pretty big underdogs though for this one, Niehaus.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Yeah,
8.5-point underdogs against Utah. I think it moved back down to 8.5. It started at 7.5, went up to 9.5, and now back down to 8. Me and Houdini were having like meeting of the minds text in the group chat where I was figuring out what the public money versus the sharp money. I was like, I think the sharps are on Cincinnati. 95% of the money and only 59% of the bets are on UC. And he's like, yeah, but the reverse line movement. You see, we went from 7.5 to 9.5. I'm like, maybe that's why I'm a terrible gambler. But anyway, big underdogs. Let's discuss Baylor first. We'll get into Utah and game day. But a little bit of structure here. We'll start with what happened last Saturday.
Just a little.
And then we'll get into next Saturday. What do you think about the Baylor game? I think there's some apologies to be given and some flowers to be given too.
I think, and this was off the top last week, you said something that sparked it in the podcast about Sawyer Robertson being like immobile. Oh. And it just reminded me like, hey, Raiola's the last quarterback that we played was immobile. And we had a pretty good performance defensively in Nebraska. And it was like, wait, maybe like we can guard one-dimensional quarterbacks. And look at that.
Yeah.
That was impressive regardless. Held him to the lowest total of the year. I think it was 137 passing yards. Great performance by the defense. And it has me second-guessing a lot of things. The bend don't break thing isn't fun, obviously, but what if like there's this new angle of what if we're just getting better? Like we have some new players on defense. Like a lot of the DBs are new. Christian Harrison's snap count keeps going up. He played almost every snap last week. And a couple weeks ago, he wasn't playing more than half. The rotation seems to be getting a little thinner at some places. Like we're really committing to certain players. I don't know. Something to think about. If we have another good performance defensively Saturday, I think we are going to be having a conversation of like maybe we figured something out. So I'm excited about that. And even if it doesn't, I'm just excited that we can have a good performance, if that makes sense, because the Kansas, Iowa State, UCF, and even the Oklahoma State game to some extent were like a little frustrating to watch.
Yeah, you said it without saying it, but the apology is to the defense. That was the story of the pregame storyline is the defense going to hold up against literally the best passing team in the country? I mean, Sawyer Robertson was number 1 in yards in the entire FBS. So held him to 137 yards, 5 yards per dropback, or I guess per completion. Was it the defense or was it the fact that Dave Aranda had the weirdest game plan known to man? Because they were behind and they ran more than they passed. What are they doing running on this defense?
Yeah, that was a topic at the radio show today. And Satterfield didn't really give an answer, but maybe, I mean, it could be anything. He could have just respected our adjustment and felt like it was going wrong if they threw it every time and trying it to see what would happen. Yeah. All I know is it didn't work. We came out and got to give props to the offense again. I know a lot of our fans have been complaining about not putting teams away. In our best year in school history, where we went to the college football playoff, we did this versus G5 teams. Like, we couldn't put Tulsa away. We couldn't put there's a couple other games where it's like, why are we doing this? And at the end of the day, the game changes when you're up by double digits. Coaches are more controlling. They're more like, they don't want to take as many risks for the most part because you leave yourself open to, certain things. Could be a pick six, could be and Sorsby has 1 interception this year. Like, I think Satterfield deserves a little credit for that, because when we get a lead, he's probably part of that decision making of like more conservative play calling to ensure that we don't throw picks, stuff like that. So I think we need to stop saying like we can't put a team away. I think we are putting them away. I think we're controlling the game on our own terms. And until we get burned on it, I don't see, I mean, sure, you could be scared of it, but I am a little too. But I think we got to give them credit to this point. We're 7-1. And Baylor has a high-powered offense, and it never felt like they were going to get back into it, other than like that early part of the second half.
You know what? It's funny because Brendan Sorsby's getting all the praise, as he should. If you've listened to us, we love him. The offensive line. You know how many times I said on Saturday, I was like, gosh, if we saw this on Sundays, man, the Bengals would be in the Super Bowl every year. I said it like 18 times. Sorsby has all day to throw back there or evade a sack. I mean, he's what the stats are pretty crazy. He gets sacked on 1% of pressures, I think is what our friends at the Cover 3 podcast said last week before the Baylor game. So not only does he have a lot of time, this guy's savvy back there and evades a lot of pressure and also can run it. Again, 11 carries, 85 yards for Sorsby and a touchdown, a long of 23. What is there to say other than this guy's a stud? This guy is an absolute stud. He's probably my favorite quarterback I've ever seen in a Bearcat uniform. And he's going to play on Sundays. I don't know if he's going to play. He's going to make a team. He's going to get drafted. I just bought myself down like 3 times. But he'll get drafted. He is, in my eyes, a Sunday guy. I don't know if he's a starter by any means. Maybe not a backup, but what can he do? What does he not do well? Like, UC's finally getting a bunch of hype, which I'll talk about the hype here in a second. Sorsby's kind of just now getting some hype. I just saw a TikTok, And it was one of his old teammates, but they were asked who's the best quarterback in college football right now. And they said Brendan Sorsby. I think it was like the Western Michigan quarterback. I think they were both at IU at the time or something. But anyway, he's still not getting that much hype.
And he's so easy to root for, like how he plays. It's like old school, but new school at the same time. Yeah. Runs the ball, slings it. You see that sidearm pass. That was great.
Crazy. Makes good decisions, which was
like that
the
long
one
pass
thing.
is the only thing, maybe, I guess. Like, or if you really want to look into mechanics, which neither of us can speak on,
When I
like from an NFL level.
When I played quarterback in third grade, I don't think my mechanics were all there.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say other than Sorsby is a stud. He's definitely. Is it crazy to say he's already one of the all-time great quarterbacks at UC?
He has 50 touchdowns already, which is crazy. Really, like in 2 years where like we won 5 games last year, and there was still a little skepticism about him. The fact that he has 50 touchdowns right now is impressive. Like, this is a full-blown dual threat modern quarterback that has like the leadership qualities you want, the edge you want. Everyone on the opposing defense other than the defensive lineman doesn't exactly want that. They don't want the business. And he jukes them too. Like, it's not just the risk of getting trucked. I mean, you saw the one this week. He just straight.
My goodness.
I love the high stepping into the end zone there. That was great.
That was nice.
It's good for him. Like, he got asked the Heisman question a lot this week and professionally answered it because, he's a very fringe candidate. You don't want to be like, yeah, I deserve it. I did this, I did that. But you can see a little cockiness popping up in his game right now. And I think that's him addressing that.
Good.
Yeah.
We need to start the Chatterbox Bearcats NIL fund, not out of our own pockets, but from the listeners. Potentially match. But we need to get this guy back next year. The hype is maybe we need to like start a smear campaign so that he doesn't get drafted high up, so that we can have him come back next year. Because this guy is too good to let leave.
We might be competing against like random NFL teams. That's the hard part.
Yeah, he's a leader. He says all the right things, does all the right things, throws it well, runs it well, makes good decisions, which again, the decision making last year was the only thing you could point at and be like, what's this guy doing? And it's all aboard the hype train for Sorsby and the Bearcats. It's kind of scary because we're getting ranked as Sports Illustrated's #1 most underrated team. Everybody's talking about it. So you got College Gameday, you got this, you got that. You're number 17 in the country. You know what this is setting up for, Lilly?
Oh man.
Gosh, it's hard to not see the elephant in the room that is Cincinnati sports, where the second we get some happiness, the second that we get some buy-in, we are 8.5-point underdogs at Utah. Honestly, that makes me feel better because if we were, favorites against this Utah team on the road and all the hype is building, talk about letdown of the century.
Yeah, pressure's building a little differently.
Yeah. So how are you feeling now, going into this Utah game with now the eyes of the country are on us?
I'm not saying bet your house on it or bet anything on it, but like, I can't remember the last time I saw an 8.5 point spread and felt like, I don't care. Like, we got a good team. Our offensive line's strong. I trust my quarterback. I trust my tight end. My wide receivers look good. The opposing team isn't a two-headed, like, they don't pass and throw at the top level. Like, they're a running team. I think it's going to be a close game. Like, I really think that spread is a little ridiculous. Obviously, they could just run all over us and, we make a mistake or two. Football's a little weird with that. But if we take care of the ball again, like we have been, the spread's wrong. Like not wrong, but you know what I mean? Like, if we take care of the ball, this will not be a 2-score game. It's going to be close. Should be a really good game. And this is all respect to Utah. At the radio show, you heard the players, Antoine Peak and Sanks were there. Satterfield was there. And there's like a recurring theme of like they're watching Utah film and they kind of see themselves. They think that Utah plays like we do, like physical. They're built by their O-line. They love their quarterback. It's just very much respect for your opponent. And I haven't heard that this year in this way. So I don't think it's like we're going to get our asses kicked respect. It's like, those guys, they play ball like we do. It should be a great game type thing. And I just think the spread's a little high. I honestly, Niehaus, I think take the points and under. I think it's going to be a little low scoring.
What makes you say that?
I'm thinking of that UCF game. What was the score? 20-11 or something?
Yeah.
And please, God, don't take me out of context, Utah fans. I know you're going to be watching this. Ute Nation is big and proud. I'm not comparing Devin Dampier to Cam Fancher, but I kind of am. No, they're going to run the ball. I don't think there's going to be a ton of like explosive plays. I think it's going to be run clock, go down the field. It's going to be long drives, low scoring. And, whoever converts the most in the red zone or turns the ball over the least is going to win the game.
Well, we have some injury news to talk about.
Oh,
Evan Pryor is out. So looks like it's going to be Tawi Walker, Manny Covey at the running back spot for the Utah
little Chance
game.
Williams.
Well, Chance Williams, we saw, even just Brendan Sorsby as a running threat. That affects you. And the reason I brought him up right now is because Devin Dampier is dealing with an injury.
Mm-hmm.
So potentially their quarterback or running back, Bird Ficklin for Utah, that's who smoked Colorado. 10 of 22 passing, 140 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. He was definitely more effective with his legs, 20 carries, 151 yards, and a touchdown. That is impressive. So our running back, their quarterback, although our running back, Evan Pryor's out. We know that. Devin Dampier might play. But that hurts, Lilly. There's no other way around it. That hurts.
I'm not going to say I do want to do a little clarifying because the tweet I had about Pryor got a bunch of engagement. Satterfield did say, which is ridiculous. It's not just Satterfield. It's multiple college coaches. I run the Big 12 injury report for CFBDepth.com, and multiple times this year, guys have been listed out on Wednesday, and then they play.
Oh.
And it's bullshit. If you're out, stay out. Put them on doubtful if they're not going to play. Or if you think they might play. That's a little side rant. Only bothers me probably. But Satterfield did leave the door open for a chance that Pryor could be upgraded.
Okay.
I forget the exact quote. I don't think he's going to play though. He also during the radio shows like we're not in the business of risking running back injuries, especially with our depth at that position of if you're playing at under 90%, 85%, you're just not going to be effective. You're not as good as the backup at 100%, if that makes sense. So I don't think we're going to risk it, especially with the bye week next week. It's a huge loss, but at the same time, they seem to really like Manny Covey and Chance Williams. And The one thing that I think we are going to miss, obviously Evan Pryor, is that Covey and Williams are more like Walker. Pryor is that lightning to the thunder. These guys are thunder, thunder, thunder. So we lose a little bit of that dynamic, explosive rushing game, I guess, with Pryor. Maybe they try some more fun stuff with Isaiah Johnson, the wide receiver who's been popping up on these explosive run like plays that we're running. But I don't think, like, I've saw some reaction on Twitter, and this is on me for like caring a lot about what people say on Twitter, but Evan Pryor getting hurt did not move the line 2 points, guys. And it's just not running backs. He would have to be the best running back in the country for that to
that's
happen.
crazy.
And his backup would have to be not very good. The reason why the line moved is probably, it could be any of these things. Sharps moved the line because they decided that Utah's as good as they thought they were in the preseason. They're just like going back to where they thought they were. Got good injury news on Devin Dampier. Stuff like, or College Gameday, it just guarantees that night game crazy environment. You know how we played against Nebraska with that environment. That stuff moves the line a little more than a running back. Not taking anything away from how great Pryor has been this season, but I'm leaning into the next man mentality that this team has. So I feel good about our running back depth.
Yeah, that's news to me that he might not absolutely be out. I already made the thumbnail for the YouTube video, and it's on the graphic here that he's out, so I'm just going to run with it.
You'll be good.
But you mentioning those things at the end, it's a night game. It's at 10:30 Eastern. So, hey, Chatterheads, stay up late with us. Chuck already texted, are we doing a show? I was like, I'll do it. I need somebody up with me, though. I can't go solo. All right. Well, that's gonna
My wife will be asleep.
It's gonna be a 3 a.m. show. Anyway,
sponsored by Monster, of course, right?
Yeah. The night game, Utah wearing all black, College Gameday. Like, this is setting up for an all-time letdown. It really is. And if you are listening to me saying that and thinking I'm an idiot, I think that's maybe one of the least idiotic things I've said on this, is that, like, this spot is bad. This is a bad spot all around.
Yeah, they're coming off a home game, so they don't have to travel this week. I mean, everything.
It's across the country. I mean, let alone, we don't even say that. You know what I mean?
And not to cut you off, Satterfield was asked a question at the radio show tonight about how are you guys going to travel? Like, have you adjusted your plans because of the kickoff? And they have. They're going on Friday now instead of Thursday, which is like, seems weird, right? Like, why are you going a day later?
Yeah, what?
And their logic is they're going Friday and they're going to sleep in on Saturday. They're telling the players to sleep in. I don't think they're reporting till like 9:30 or 10, which, you know, that sounds a little.
Wait,
sounds a little early, right?
That's sleeping in?
Yeah, exactly. These guys are probably up at 6 or 5 normally. So to try to just push back their normal game day routine a couple hours, and that's how they're going to approach it. I'm interested to see how it works. I don't know. I've been jet lagged before. I just don't know how it works with football like that. It's a fascinating thing that people study, and every team does it differently. And I don't think anyone knows exactly what the best way to do it is.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough spot. All right, let's get into the Utah roster. I'm just looking at their roster and the season stats. They've caught more touchdowns in the tight end room than the wide receivers.
Yeah.
So it makes me feel good that we had a much better tackling game against Baylor, because I'm looking at their tight ends, 6'4", 264.
They're huge.
6'4", 208. That's shockingly small, I feel like, for a tight end. 208. 6'4".
Is that JJ Buchanan?
Yeah. What am I missing there?
Only reason I know that is because of the depth chart stuff I do. He's a freshman and was a wide receiver there,
Got it.
and he's like a vertical threat. Like he probably doesn't even look like a tight end on the field, but he is like very lanky. Think of like a young Josh Wiley is kind of what I was envisioning.
Yeah. And then Lander Barton, 6'5", 240. Bentley Dallin Bentley. Yeah. 3 touchdowns. I hope. Okay, by the way, that's not a Sorley situation.
That's the one to watch, by the way. That's their guy.
Did I just Sorley him? I just Sorleyed him.
No, do Dallin Toyota.
I'm reading the name and I can't even say it. It was Nick Saban. He's probably just reading Sorley. Anyway, he's had 3 touchdowns. Buchanan's had 3 touchdowns. And the wide receiver, and then Lander Barton had 1 touchdown. The wide receiver room, 2 guys have 3 touchdowns. There's only 2 wide receivers who have scored. It's Ryan Davis and it's Larry Simmons.
And
go ahead.
One other thing that's weird, if you guys are looking at Utah's ESPN page or any page of their receiving stats, is you'll see guys like, I'm looking at it right now, Smith Snowden, last name, I forget his name, Jackson Benet. And you'll see safety, you'll see cornerback, you'll see L. Barton, linebacker. Whittingham has been playing multiple guys both ways this year. Like he's doing the Travis Hunter thing. It's not been a national story for some reason, but he's playing 3 or 4 guys, legitimate snaps on offense that are starters on defense. And it's the weirdest thing. And it's been causing me a lot of headaches with this depth chart, but something to watch with those 3 players. I don't think that they have any touchdowns, 1 or 2 combined, but they are getting receptions. They're getting snaps. It's a very weird team passing wise, but they want to run the ball in Niehaus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's running back by committee. It looks like Wayshawn Parker, Naquari Rogers, and Daniel Bray.
Yep.
Just looking at the carry shares, Wayshawn Parker is 35 to 39% carry share. Then Rogers 25 to 29, and then Daniel Bray 10 to 14. Rogers 7 touchdowns. Rogers 7 touchdowns, but Parker gets more carries. He has more yards. He has 503 yards. And then, of course, if Bird Ficklen's in at quarterback, you saw what he did to Colorado last week with 151 yards.
Yeah.
So, and even if Dampier's a quarterback, 474 yards, 91 attempts. So, we talked about it with Sawyer Robertson, how it definitely played into our style, the fact that he's not a scrambling quarterback. Defense might have their hands full this week. Sometimes it is that simple. You can go in depth of the 3-3-5 and, matchups on the outside with the wide receivers, with the tight ends. Sometimes it's as simple as, can this quarterback run or not? And you know what? That's proven to be true this year.
I think we got to let him pass the ball. Their rushing attack is pretty insane. And what we've seen this year, like the not horrible experience because we've been winning, but it's kind of an annoying, miserable experience to watch our defense against like teams that are chunking us. And I think Utah is going to do that on the ground if we don't fully commit to guarding the run. And Satterfield did mention sending another guy in the box in the radio show this week. And I mean, that seems obvious. I'm not going to say like it's some groundbreaking decision that he's making there, but they're just to prepare UC fans that the Utes are going to be running the ball, and it's going to be a lot of guys. They're deep at running back, and if they want to throw the ball, they've got a bunch of tight ends too. It's not going to be like these explosive, deep passing plays to wide receivers. It's going to be running backs, tight ends, and maybe the best offensive line in football.
Oh, Lilly, come on. I'm looking at the defensive roster, and you're right. Lander Barton, there he is. He's a tight end. He's also a linebacker. He has 19 tackles. He has a sack, pass breakup. Anything else on defense for Utah?
Yeah, I saw some stuff in just a little talking point that I wanted to address. The Utes have played one game this year where the game ended within 21 points. One. And that was the game they lost last week. Or by last week, I mean
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago to BYU. They smoked UCLA. Their bye games, they smoked them. They got smoked by Texas Tech. They smoked West Virginia and Arizona State. And whatever they did to Colorado, there's not a word to describe it. We got to revisit the dictionary here because Colorado had negative 18 yards at halftime.
Oh, God.
And Utah had over 400. It was an absolute battering. I was watching at a bar, and I was like, this is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. And they don't play close games. So when you look at their analytics and their stats, be careful because I'm on Game on Paper, and it says they can't guard the run. And I'm like, my instant reaction is like, oh, sweet. We can run the ball on these guys. Try to shorten the game. No one's running the ball on these guys because they're down 30. And when they do run the ball down 30, they're going to get 8 yards because Utah doesn't give a shit. So it's hard to really look at these numbers and like make a conclusion here. All I do know is that Utah is, since Whittingham's been there for 20 years, their identity has been defense, and their defensive coordinator is going to be their next head coach, and he's very respected. And I think I'm not trying to lean into the spread and make it sound like we can't win this game, but like we got to play a really secure football game. And we need some stuff to go our way.
Yeah, so it's pretty obvious if you've been listening to me how I feel about this game. Although I don't think that this is one that we can't win. You know, this is a very good Cincinnati team. We have, in my opinion, a top 5 quarterback in the country. We have an amazing offensive line. Yeah, our top running back's out. Tawi Walker will still put somebody through the ground. And we have 2 NFL guys on defense. We can win this game. We can.
Yeah.
I don't like the spot. This is the toughest game we've had. It's not out of the realm of possibility that the Bearcats pull one out in Salt Lake City. With that being said, let's end on this. If we lose, we are not dead. It is so far from dead. Let's go through the scenarios, Lilly. I don't want to break down like each individual tiebreaker, this or that. But
I got them all.
We can go through it if you want to. But like we're still in a very good spot. We still have BYU to play. Texas Tech lost a game. We win out. We're still in the Big 12 championship, right?
Almost guaranteed, but not a true control your destiny.
Gotcha.
I do want to say one more thing real quick about Devin Dampier, because we were just talking about how it feels like, it doesn't feel like we can't win, but it does feel like, say, Utah gets the ball first, they run down the field, score a touchdown. I think a lot of Cincinnati fans would be like, oh, yeah, maybe we are going to really lose this game. And I just want to point out that Dampier is not exactly secure with the football. And I know our defense isn't great at forcing turnovers, but we are pretty damn good at forcing fumbles. And if you watch that Texas Tech game, he can throw an erratic pass. So, yes, the game is very winnable. That's why I just think the spread's just a little off. Like in my head, it's a 6.5. In Houdini's head, we're favored, which I love. I love the confidence.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he did. Maybe he's right. Maybe Vegas is wrong. And
take
Houdini's
the alt
right.
line. Take the alt line.
Yeah, let's do it. So in terms of Big 12 tiebreakers and stuff like that, we obviously right now control our own destiny. If we win out, we're in the championship game. And honestly, if we win out, we're in play for an at-large, even if we lose the championship game.
Oh, I love hearing that.
It's not likely, but it's possible. But remember my tweet about how we wanted BYU to beat Utah. The reason why is this. Utah has 2 losses right now. We have 0. We can lose this game and still not have to deal with that tiebreaker. The first tiebreaker is head-to-head. So for us to even have a tiebreaker with Utah, we have to lose 2 games. And in that case, we're probably screwed regardless.
Yeah.
All of Cincinnati's 95% of Cincinnati's Arlington title hopes at this point is 0 losses or 1 loss. So remember that, obviously. But in this theoretical that we're looking at, we beat BYU at home. We beat Arizona at home. And it comes down to that TCU game on the road where, anything can happen. And if we lose this game and then win out, this is going to scare you. But the one scenario where we don't get in to Arlington.
Don't say it. Is it Houston?
It's Houston.
Oh, my God.
I'm pretty sure. There's so much stuff. After this week, I'll look at it really in depth. But the Houston stuff is there. They're not going to win out, right? Like, they're not very good.
Houston.
Yeah, their schedule's not very good. Or their schedule is very easy. But I tell you what, Niehaus, do you remember, what did I say with the basketball a year or 2 ago? If I said I was going to go off the grid.
Yeah.
We go 8-1 and don't make it to Arlington because of Houston. You're not going to see me for a while. It's going to be a long time.
Okay. So who are we rooting against? Obviously, it's just everybody at the top, right? BYU, Texas Tech, and Houston. Probably Houston the most, because BYU we don't have to root against if we just beat.
I have some pride. I'm not even caring about Houston until later.
Okay.
I can't do it. I'm not giving them my energy. Yeah.
And then there's a million teams at 3 and 2.
And BYU's on a bye this weekend. So if we win this week and Kansas State beats Texas Tech at home, those Vegas odds are going to start really increasing our blood pressure here, because we are going to be like the clear favorite if that happens.
I'm looking now.
And then we'll lose to Arizona.
What did I get? UC? Okay. I got UC to win the Big 12 at
I got plus 30,000.
Yeah, that's what I got. 3,000.
Is that what it was? 3,000. Yeah, 30,000.
So 30-1.
Yeah, I got 30-1.
And we went down. The cash out went down a little bit, but my cash out was at 400% of the bet. Now it's at 360% of the bet.
Quick hypothetical, Niehaus. Are we hedging that if it comes to it?
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely. I've been on a little bit of a heater with NBA. So here
at Chatterbox, we do not hedge. We do
not. I will not hedge. If UC's in the Big 12 championship, I will be there. B, I will not be hedging. But so root against Texas Tech. So go Kansas State this weekend. Yep. There's a million teams at 3 and 2. Don't have to root against BYU because we play them. So it's Texas Tech and it's Houston, the 2 main teams we want to.
Yeah. General rule of thumb: anyone with 0 or 1 loss, root against them. The 2 loss stuff, like this isn't last year's Big 12. Honestly, at this point, it would be extremely unlikely to see a 2-loss team in Arlington. Like you'd have to see UC and BYU fall apart, and that's pretty unlikely because they play each other. Like there's only 4 games left, and we play each other, so that takes out 1 game for one of the teams.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up, Lilly. I don't have anything else to say. I'm
nervous. This is fun.
I'm very nervous. Meaningful football is back, man. Like,
this is fun.
Who thought that we'd be in this spot? I mean, I want to apologize for my take after the Nebraska game. I'm worried I'm worried that UC is going to win the Big 12 and that they're going to go back in time and clip my reaction after the Nebraska game.
Yeah. like the main Go Bearcats
Please, no,
account.
like I
As
am a
like
huge,
us hating on them at the
like,
beginning.
I am a huge fan. Please don't do that. Anyway, hey, we got hoops next week too, so we're gonna have a ton of content coming for you. Of course, we will have a post game show for the Utah game. That's it, Lily.
If
I
you're
got
on that
nothing
post
else.
game show, you're a real one. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, come follow live. Follow live.
Save
See
it
you,
for
everybody.
breakfast if you have to, but we'll see you.
Say you can join us in the morning. That's fine. Peace out.